Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys of Magic. This is Hunter, Shane, David, and Steven. Say what up, boys.
Yo.
What up, boys?
What up, nerds?
We're back with another Commander Grades video. This time we're doing something a little different. Something we've never done before. Because one of the precons, named Legends Legacy, brought in so many brand new legendary creatures, we're actually going to be ranking all of the legendary creatures from both precon sets that are brand new to Dominaria United. So, let's start off with this first one. This one is from Legends Legacy. This is Bladewing Deathless Tyrant. Bladewing Deathless Tyrant is 5, a black, and a red for a 6/6 legendary creature dragon skeleton. It has flying and haste. It says whenever it deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, for each creature card in your graveyard, create a 2/2 black zombie knight creature token with menace. David, go ahead and start us off.
It's David.
I was gonna say Steven. Decided against it. Go ahead, David.
It's David here. I'll start. I'm not a big fan of 7-mana commanders. However, this is kind of a late game payoff. There are tons of ways for you to be able to self-mill in black or be able to selective mill, I guess, if you wanted to. Plus the fact that this thing has haste really means that it costs 7, yes, but it doesn't actually function like most other 7 drops, so it kind of saves the card for me. I think that really you probably only need to be able to connect with this one time to be able to make a huge number of zombies, and plus those zombies have menace as well, so I don't know, they're gonna put in work. I actually do like this card.
Can't believe the day has come where I disagree with David.
What the?
I know, dude. I'm not a fan of this card just for the main reason that it is 7 mana, and then the second it hits the board and it dies, it's then 9 mana. It's so aggressive. I want to do so many other things with my turns. I do like the fact that it's flying. It's a 6/6 and it has haste, so it can do exactly what it needs to do the turn that it comes down. I just think that people are going to see the setup coming.
Yeah, I think it's very straightforward. You put this in your command zone. Your opponents know what you're trying to do is just flood your entire graveyard with creatures. Which, if you're not reanimating them, this is the only way to get better. Because if you are reanimating them, then this card is worse. I don't know. It seems like a lot of setup to get all of those creatures into the graveyard just to swing in and make some 2/2s that will die to an Elesh Norn, for example. I don't know. Just doesn't seem as powerful.
Elesh Norn is a good card.
Yes, it is. What do
Also
you think?
7-drop.
There are ways that you could be just fueling your graveyard. Right? You could be just dumping shit in your graveyard, and by the time
don't get me wrong, you definitely can.
You could play this guy on curve, or if not sooner, and like David was saying, one swing, and you got a shitload of menace zombies, dude. And maybe you have ways to bump them up, Hunter. I don't know. Maybe you have ways to make them a little bigger than Elesh Norn, what she would kill. That's what you're worried about.
I was just giving an example of Elesh Norn killing 2/2s. But I mean, yeah, you can pump them, you can give them flying, you can do whatever you want to them. But at the end of the day, like Steven said, you're still setting up perfectly fine to where your opponent just sees to save everything just for this one commander. Like you've said in a previous video, Shane, selfish, isn't it?
But this makes selfish would mean that it only does something for itself, but it makes a shitload of guys for you. This could be a sack deck. This could be a Token Matters deck. This could be a bunch of different things, dude.
All right, and on my turn, I'm going to go ahead and play a land for turn. It's a Bojuka Bog.
Look, I get the point here that, yeah, you can easily counteract this. I also do want to point out red and black are very good with rituals. I understand that this is a 7-drop. You don't really need to set this up a whole lot. If I have 5 creatures in my graveyard, which is very easy to do in black very, very quickly, even if I just drop this thing on turn 4, number one, you're probably not set up to actually protect yourself from it and not really anticipating it. Plus, even if I just make, say, 5 2/2s, that's 10 potential damage with menace.
That's a lot. Hunter, I don't know if you know that's a lot.
Sure, that is a lot.
I just I look at a card like this and I get the same kind of feel and vibe that I do with the Thraxmunder deck that I run in our little play group. And he's also 7 mana, but I never have a difficult time getting him out early, and typically whenever he does, people have that kind of like, oh shit, I forgot about this thing that has haste and is swinging at me immediately.
I mean, I get that, but would you say Thrax is better than this? 'Cause I would.
I think Thrax and this are very different. I think Thrax is actually much more selfish. Because like if you deal with that, then the deck doesn't really do a whole lot. But this is going to bank those tokens, so you're going to have a lasting impact later on. I actually think he might be better than Thrax. I think
Ooh,
he's most certainly faster.
I want to see you build this.
maybe it will.
If you build it, they will come.
Zombies, that is.
Yeah, I don't know.
I-
If I was a metronome, I was probably at like 70% hate on this card. David has shifted me to 65%.
David always
Shocker.
shifts you.
60,
Shocker.
5%. That's not a lot.
My job
That-
to move the needle.
Yeah, let's move on to the grades. Steven, what are you giving it?
C.
I'm right there with you. It's a C.
You guys were hating on a C?
I'm just saying it's not as good.
I'll give it a B.
I'm gonna give this one a B as well. They're over there shitting on a card, man. I was expecting them to give a way lower grade than average.
It's average, dude. But yeah, so the average grade is a B. Next up, we got another one from the Legends Legacy. This is Cadric Soul Kindler. Cadric Soul Kindler is 2, a red and a white for a 4/3 legendary creature dwarf wizard. It says the legend rule doesn't apply to tokens you control. And whenever another non-token legendary permanent enters the battlefield under your control, you may pay 1. If you do, create a token that's a copy of it. That token gains haste. Sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step.
Whoa,
Now we're talking.
that's nutty McButters, dude.
Now we're talking.
Hello?
Yeah.
Legendaries with cool death triggers? I like that.
Start us off, Shane. Go ahead.
Well, that's all I wanted to say. I mean, there's a billion things you could do with this, dude. I'm guessing the copy, you also get the ETB, right? So you can have things with ETBs and deaths and what, even if it's a tiny card, who gives a shit? It's got haste. Maybe it has an attack trigger. Like, this is insane.
This is kind of crazy because all you have to do is pay 1. That's nuts.
Yeah, it's a pretty powerful card.
Typically,
And-
legendary cards are legendary for a reason, right? Because they're powerful. Now you can have a bunch.
Yeah, but this is like aggressive.
David, what do you think?
I don't know. I mean, like your opponents are gonna see this and they're gonna clearly see that you're setting up for it. Like this card does nothing
Oh
on its
my
own.
Yo, you're getting trolled, bruh.
This is a card that, like, honestly is. I 100% see the upside to it. I do also want to play devil's advocate here that, like, if my opponent is playing this, I know that I cannot let this commander resolve or stick around. Just because, like, they're going to spend their 4 mana, they're going to drop this, and then the following turn, they're going to abuse this in some way. And if I let them use the ability even a single time, it could just kill me or lock me out of the game. So this is what I'm saving my removal for out of the gun. So I don't know. Good card. I think it definitely is a card that, like, you're going to be able to play it one time before your opponents catch on, and then they're just going to keep removal.
Yeah, it seems like a deck that Godo would throw into with Helm of the Host, even though it does the same thing.
I'm 100%. If I'm building this, I'm making this a stacks deck.
That way you can double stacks.
Ugh.
I mean, double stacks until it dies, right? Because it says you have to sack it at the end of the turn.
Shh.
Gotta find other effects.
Hey, don't kill dreams. Just skip your instep, dude.
Skip your instep. Just use a whole bunch of different token makers. Copy effects. Now they don't have the legend rule. Let's move on to the grades. I think we're done talking about this one. I'm going to give it a B. I think it's pretty solid. I'm a big Boros fan, so maybe I'm biased.
I mean, it's funny
I'm
you
a
say
big-
the word Boros because there's a B in Boros, and that's where I'm going with it.
You said a lot of B's there, bud.
Bees.
Don't remind me that this card is Boros. I'll just try to give it an F, just like knee-jerk reaction.
Boros.
Ugh.
You guys going to give it a grade? Hello?
No, I guess I can do that now. I'm going to give this card a B. I mean, we've already said what needs to be said about it. It's a powerful threat.
I'll give it a B with everyone. Let's go B's.
Alrighty then. That average is a B for Cadric Soul Kindler. Next up, face commander of said Legends Legacy. This is Dihada, Binder of Wills. Dihada Binder of Wills is a planeswalker that costs 1, a red, a white, and a black for a starting loyalty of 5. It has a +2 ability that says up to 1 target legendary creature gains Vigilance, Lifelink, and Indestructible until your next turn. It also has a -3 ability that says reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put any number of legendary cards from among them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Create a treasure token for each card put into your graveyard this way. And its ultimate at -11 says gain control of all non-land permanents until end of turn. Untap them. They gain haste until end of turn. Big fan of this one.
Are you?
I am. Making a legendary have Vigilance, Lifelink, and Indestructible until my next turn? That's a powerful effect.
As a +2, yeah. 4
Yeah.
mana coming in
mean,
at
I
5
think-
loyalty. Wow.
Yeah, it comes in at 5 loyalty, and even the -3 creates you at least 4 treasure tokens.
The plus does
Sorry,
require you.
No, it does not.
What?
At least.
Reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put any number of legendary cards from among them into your hand, and the rest into your graveyard. Create treasure token for each card put into the graveyard this way.
Yeah. So it's at most
You have
4, at least 0.
legendaries, and- yeah, most 4. You got where I was going with that.
I mean, at most and at least are 2 very different things.
Listen
I
to
will
your
say-
teacher.
I will say this is not like this is gonna die a lot. It's gonna the plus is kind of hoping that you have a card already on the field, but if you don't, it doesn't protect itself in any way.
That's my big downside with this card too. Nothing in here says it protects itself. I know that the +2 there is like it really wants to pump up a blocker for you. If you don't have a creature in play, this card is not playable.
I mean, you wouldn't play it if you didn't have a creature out.
Then
I would
you're
hope
not,
not.
you're not going to play your commander. Then I mean, I just look at it like
What?
not only do you need to have a creature in play, but like the pump effect doesn't affect you from anything with flying. It doesn't affect anything like you're only pumping up a single creature. So if your opponent has any kind of threat with like menace, or if they happen to have removal of any kind for a creature, they can still hit this. I'm not a big fan of commanders being planeswalkers to begin with because it's essentially a commander that they can kill with combat damage that you don't really get to do a whole lot with. So I'm not super high on this card. I'm glad that she comes down with 5 loyalty, and yeah, she climbs quickly, but no, I'm not big on her.
I don't know. I mean, I get your point on it, but like, I think planeswalkers as commanders are like always like shunned on. But I think once like Elminster came out, like I think that people could see the light of a planeswalker being your commander. And I think being able to play around and seeing what different kinds of abilities and what kind of cool card effects you can do, I think this will definitely see some play, at least a little bit. You know, I don't know. I just love the treasure token. I mean, I think that's sick.
Yeah, I think the treasure aspect's cool. The +2, I still think is powerful enough. I know, David, you hate it because it can't block flyers.
Well, like
or-
it looks like on the surface, it looks like it's like, oh yeah, the card protects itself, but in all reality, like it only protects itself some of the time.
All right, well, let's move on to the grades. We'll start with you, David. What are you giving this?
I'm gonna give it a C. I think it's functional. I just think that like it's not really all that powerful or impressive.
I will join you on that boat. I will also be giving this a C.
I'm gonna give this a B.
Wow.
I think all the abilities have really good upside. 4 mana to play this commander. It's in a color scheme that I really love. And there's a ton of great legendaries. Plus, we saw with the card we had just talked about, Mr. Cadric. This would go really well in this deck. So, I think, is Cadric in that deck?
Oh,
The-
yes. Yeah, Cadric is, yeah.
Yeah, he is in the deck.
Yeah. This deck is nutty. I like it.
Well, I'm gonna give it a C. I don't like it.
Don't like it, but you think it's average. I love it.
Yeah. I mean, it's somebody's gonna like it. I don't think it's unplayable. I just don't like it.
All right. Well, that average here is a C. Next up, we have the face commander of the Painbow Precon deck. This is Jared Carthalion. Jared Carthalion is a white, blue, black, red, green for starting loyalty of 5 planeswalker. Has a +1 ability that says create a 3/3 Kavu creature token with trample. That's all colors. has a -3 ability that says choose up to 2 target creatures. For each of them, put a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to the number of colors it is. And a -6, which is apparently its ultimate, says return target multicolored card from your graveyard to your hand. If that card was all colors, draw a card and create 2 treasure tokens. I'll go first. I'll
Okay.
say that this card isn't that great. It does protect itself, unlike the other one we just saw. However, its thing that it really wants to do is that -3 ability, and it's going to be hard to get to. I know it starts at 5 and it can get to 6 and it can minus itself immediately, but once you minus itself, you can't do it again unless you go up. It's just I don't know. It's tough.
That's the same argument you could have made about the last card, though.
Sure.
Yeah, but you like the last one, dude.
I did like the last one.
I'm just confused on why all of a sudden this is a negative whenever the same rules apply.
Because I could have given something lifelink in the last one. I just make a 3/3. And
I
it
mean,
was a +2.
Okay, yeah, the other one does grow a little bit faster than that, but like on this one, you play him, you do the +1, and then the following turn you do a -3, and all of a sudden your 3/3 Kavu is now a 5/5 Kavu with trample. I'm sorry, it's an 8/8 Kavu with trample.
That's correct. Yeah, it is.
So like, this not only makes a blocker, it makes a blocker that if you don't deal with, suddenly becomes a threat.
Ooh.
I mean, like
Oh,
an
yeah.
8/8 with trample is a big thing.
I know that. I just I'm the one that's creating the Precon upgrade for this, so I know the power of this.
I also feel like in the -6, I feel like whenever you said it, you kind of like had this like condescending, and that's just its ultimate. I look at it like, yeah, it's not some game-breaking ultimate, but -6 is very realistic for me to be able to get to.
It's true, but I mean, returning 1 card to your hand, is that good enough for a -6?
I mean, I don't know. It also draws you a card and creates treasure tokens.
Only if it's all colors.
Yeah. I don't know. I look at it like it does have potential upside, and I know that it's not game-breaking or anything like that, but if they do happen to have a threat that like needed to be dealt with or is somehow in your graveyard, I don't know. It's a good way for you to be able to redeploy that threat and then also have the treasures up to potentially cast it.
Yeah, I hear you.
I hate this.
Go ahead, Steven. Talk about.
Yeah,
I
this one.
just hate this one. That's all. I think there are better 5-color commanders out there.
Oh, I completely agree.
Like, cool, I get to create a 3/3. Cool, I get to choose 2 target creatures and do stuff with them. Put a card in my hand. No.
Just no.
Just no.
Dan, what are your thoughts?
I know David might like this just because like domain is a big aspect of this deck, I would feel like, but I hate the domain feature.
You're
I'll die
gonna
on this hill.
eat your own words on that, I think, one day.
I'll die on this hill.
I disagree with that. I don't think anything about this card says domain. It actually never once says it or references it in any way. It's a 5-color deck, which 5-color decks on their own, you play the best things in every single color. So like, I don't see that as a negative in any capacity.
David, I'm not saying that this card says anything about domain. What I'm saying is this is a 5-color deck. There's a bunch of domain cards that are probably going to be in this from the set.
I mean, for the Precon, yes. I'm not looking at this from a lens of a Precon because realistically speaking, I'm not expecting many of the domain cards to actually be playable in EDH. I think that they're going to be absolutely fantastic in standard. I don't necessarily think that many of them are going to make that transition well, though.
I don't know. I just think it's a shitty mechanic. Not enough bang for your buck when you're not playing 5 colors.
I feel like
That's not true.
I disagree very much so with you. I think 3 colors and you probably get your bang for your buck, and if you're playing 4 or 5, they're straight just like monstrosity spells.
You're gonna be like, damn, Dave, where'd you find them apples at?
Damn.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah. You say you're gonna down this hill? You're not down on shit, dude.
I'm dying on this hill.
It's
No.
okay, dude. We all have our opinions. All right. He's allowed to hate domain. I still think Prosper is a fucking awful commander.
Oh my god.
Shane and I think the ever-changing Dane's great, and David hates it.
I never said that. We're actually going to talk about it at some point.
He made a deck. Oh god, I can't wait.
All right, let's move on to the grades then. Steven, what are you giving it?
I'm gonna give this a C. I want to give it a D, but like I can't give it a D.
Oh, but I'm afraid that the comments are gonna shit on me.
I'm gonna give this a D.
Oh, I made him do it.
Shane?
I'm gonna give it a C. I don't like it, but it at least kind of protects itself. And if you upgrade the deck right, Hunter, and you're wink, wink, nudge, nudge upgrade, maybe it'll do well.
Hey, we'll see. I'm giving it a C as well.
If I gave the last one a C, I think that they're pretty on par with each other. I think this one might actually be slightly better because of color identity. So I'm going to say C on this one as well.
All
Come on,
right.
Dick.
Steven, the rare going below the team, usually going higher. This average is going to be a C. The alternate commander of Painbow is Jenson Carthalion, Druid Exile. Jenson Carthalion Druid Exile is a green and a white for a 2/2 legendary creature human druid. It says whenever you cast a multicolored spell, scry 1. If that spell was all colors, create a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying and vigilance. You also pay 5 and tap this to add Urborg to your mana pool. Thoughts on this one, Shane?
Hear me out. Hear me out. David
Maybe
hates it. I know, but the ability to just pay 5 and get Wooberg, I think that's pretty. Like I like that ability because you might not always have Wooberg right away on turn 5, but now you do. So that's kind of cool. That ability's strong. And then after that, after turn 5, then now you're gonna start making 4/4 angels with flying and vigilance. I mean, that's not great. I know, Dave, but yeah, it's not great. But the Wooberg seems good. I don't know. I'm trying to make it seem like it's not bad. It doesn't seem that bad.
I think you're failing in convincing me.
It doesn't seem that bad, Dave. You
I
can
love how
scry in the
you.
beginning.
I
What?
love
What do
how
you
you
love?
target me specifically. Like, there's 3 other guys in here, but you're just like, I know Dave's gonna have a problem with this
Because
one.
you're always the Debbie Downer, dude.
There's 2 other guys.
I mean, he's counting
Well-
me as my yeah.
Yeah, convince yourself, Shane.
All right. Well, that's not gonna happen. So.
I'm ready to move on to grades with this card.
Oh my god.
Wow, you don't even want to talk about it. Steven, do you have anything to say?
I'll say it with my grade.
Okay.
Damn, really bad. I don't think it's that bad.
You guys are hating.
You also love Guild Lotus.
You're such a dick.
Okay. Then let's. I mean, I'll say. Okay, yeah. So I'll say.
No,
some
fuck them. Yeah, talk.
Yeah. Let's say some stuff, dude. This is obviously going to be multicolor spell. I know, David, you're like, it scries from time to time. But yeah, if you build this deck right, you'll scry all the time. Get the most powerful spells you can get, put it on top of your deck by scrying. And then eventually, if it's all colors, you can make a 4/4.
How many 5 mana spell? How many 5 color spells are playable in EDH?
Dude, a ton. Why do you, dude? A ton.
Yeah, so many, dude. You'll see in my upgrade.
Wizards made a precon for a reason. They're better at deck building than you.
Yeah.
Boom.
This
Roasted.
precon, by the way, has been met with opinions, and I haven't seen very many positives.
Well, they say opinions like assholes. Everyone loves them.
I was gonna say you only have one.
Yeah, and yours is shitty.
All right, let's move on to the grades. We'll start with Steven because he wanted to explain his with a grade. Steven, what are we giving it?
I'm gonna give this a C.
Wow. I am shocked because I'm actually super low on this as well. I'm giving it a D.
I'm giving this a B, dude.
What?
I'm just kidding. I'm giving it a C. I'm giving it a C. I think it's playable. I think you guys are hating for no fucking reason.
Well, I like the fact that it's a 2-drop, and that's the reason why I'm not giving it enough. So I'm gonna give it a D. It's a 2-mana 2/2, and that's probably all it's there to do.
All right. Well, that average goes to the higher grade. Once again, that's going to be a C. And those are the rest of the Painbow. The rest of the legendaries are from straight up Legends Legacy. This next one, Moira, Urborg Haunt. Moira Urborg Haunt is 2 and a black for a 3/2 legendary creature spirit wizard. It has Menace. It says whenever it deals combat damage to a player, return to the battlefield target creature card in your graveyard. that was put there from the battlefield this turn. Kind of weird wording there.
No, you just
Safety
struggled at
valves.
reading.
Yeah, I just think that the limitations on this make me unsure if I like it or not. I mean, it's got good upside, but it just has several hoops.
What if
I
a
could
big
have
ass
said that
card
better
died, dude?
myself, Steven.
He's reading from a fucking prompt, dude.
He read my notes.
Oh, well, that's which. I was gonna say that was way too.
No, I did read David's notes. But I do agree with David's notes almost to a T. I think this card is fun. I just think that the wording is a little too specific, and it does have a lot of limitations. Specifically, one.
I will say though that this is definitely gonna be the card from the set where I always think it has flying, but it doesn't.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so
Nah, the one that I thought from the set was the flying ship that didn't have flying.
The Argosy or Argosy or whatever it is.
Yeah.
hey, but if something big dies, you can just bring it back to the battlefield.
If you're able to attack with this and make contact, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this has to deal combat damage to a player.
So
Wait,
your thing
what?
had to have died in main phase 1.
Or during combat?
No.
Wouldn't it have to go to the?
Well-
Wait, what do you mean no? It would go to the graveyard and then it would check, wouldn't it?
Yeah, you're right.
You can, yeah. That's true.
Or hear me out. You can play one of the other many reanimators in black to grab something from an opponent's graveyard that you like.
Why would you reanimate something?
But this is for free.
If you kill it this turn and you're able to make contact, yes.
That's what I'm banking on, Steven.
But you would have to basically, like, let's be honest. So then you're just playing a bunch of, like, kill spells and hopefully killing the one creature and hoping that they don't block or have two creatures to block with. Like, there's too much to do, too much setup to just get one creature card from an opponent's graveyard.
A hater, dude.
Also, by the way, this only grabs from your graveyard. I do at least like it. You put this in a sack deck as like the leader of that. That way, you guaranteed have a contact target. Still not high on this card.
Drinking that haterade, dude.
Yeah, I'm not high on this card at all. I think. Okay, here's where I think it could be powerful. ETB triggers, right? That's the thing.
That's the thing.
A sack ETB type deck. That's the only thing that I can see.
Okay.
I'd spend one more mana and play Mirren.
Sack something. Swing it with this. Deal combat damage.
Oh, my name's Steven. I don't know fucking card names.
Bring it back. I don't know, man. Is it good enough? I don't think so. But someone might be more creative than I am. So who knows?
Not with
Hey,
this.
leave a comment, dude. Leave a comment.
Good
Tell
comment.
Steven he's dumb.
Yeah, prove me wrong. You know who you are.
You know who you are. Moving on to the grades. Dave.
I'm gonna give it a D. I don't think this is a card that I really ever want to play, but it still does a thing, so I'm not gonna dismiss it.
I'm joining you. D.
I'll join the D train. Oh, wait a minute.
Are you sure?
I just didn't like the way I said that. This is definitely a D. I just didn't want.
He's on the he's on the D train, dude. Let's go.
Fucking riding it down.
Well, I'm not gonna ride the D train with you boys because I don't like that. So I'm gonna ride the C train though.
Wow.
The
Well, too bad,
train?
Shane. This average is still going to be a D.
I know. I feel better though.
Next up, we have the alternate commander to the Legends Legacy. This is Shanid, Sleeper's Scourge. Shanid, Sleeper's Scourge is 1, a red, a white, and a black for a 2/4 legendary creature, human knight. It has Menace. It says other legendary creatures you control have Menace. And whenever you play a legendary land or cast a legendary spell, you draw a card and lose a life.
Beautiful.
I like drawing cards.
Beautiful.
You like this card?
Yeah, I love this card. Now, as a commander, probably not.
Probably not.
I mean, this is the secondary commander for the Legend Matters deck, right?
Yes.
Literally what I said in the beginning.
Yeah, I'm just reiterating.
You wanted to verify that he's
Yeah.
listening.
Yeah. Jesus, Hunter. Yeah, I think this is better than the 99 rather than the helm of the deck.
Interesting. David, what do you think?
I strongly disagree with that statement. I think that this is much better than the starting commander for that deck. Yeah, it's not like anything super crazy, but playing a legendary land is going to be able to draw you a card. And also, the draw for the legendary spell is on cast too, so you don't even need it to resolve, and you'll still draw a card. I mean, if you build your deck with enough legendaries, this essentially just says spells you control or spells you cast, cantrip, which is fucking fantastic.
It also loses you life, though.
I mean, that's totally fine. I'm more than happy with losing life whenever it comes to just like drawing cards. It also says other legendary creatures you control have menace too. So like all of your extra legendaries, which you're going to be flooding your deck with, get an additional pump that are going to make them much more evasive and significantly harder to block.
You know, Hunter, I heard your concern. You said this loses you life. I think the face commander gives your cards lifelink and indestructible until your next turn. And vigilance.
Yeah, but they don't cantrip.
That's fine. Fucking search for this.
I think the card draw here
Red,
is much more
white,
powerful.
and black. Like, you can find this pretty easy. Guaranteed.
Again, right in the command zone.
Mm-hmm.
Seems good, Hunter. What do you think?
I mean, I think it's good too. I love the ability to give all your legendary things menace. That's pretty powerful, in my opinion.
That's not what I'm asking though. What camp are you in, dude?
I'm in David's
Team
camp.
Steven, Team David.
I'm in David's camp in the terms of it's a really good card.
Pussy.
What do you think?
I think David is so wrong. I'm just kidding. This is a really good card.
No
Thank
one's
you.
denying that this isn't a good card.
Yeah, but I think I'd rather play this card in the Precon if we're asking that question.
Yeah, you can play it in the Precon.
All right, good. Glad you agree.
All right, well, let's move on to the grades. I'm gonna give this. I'm actually kind of high on this. I'm giving it a B. I like it.
I'm gonna join you up in the clouds, my friend. I'm gonna give
Wait.
this a B as well.
I don't like Steven right now.
How interesting.
Listen, are you saying you don't like me because I said that this shouldn't be the commander?
Yes, and then you rated above average.
Yes, because this card is good. I'm not saying that it's gonna be a bad commander. I'm just saying that it's not my preference for this. I think that the face commander is good, but I'm not going to give this a lower score than a B when it's an obvious B.
Boys, we're in grading. No more debating. I'm gonna give it a B too.
All right.
See what I did there? I rhymed.
I just like to disagree with people, so now I feel like I can't give it a B.
Yeah, give it an A then. Fuck it.
Nope, it's definitely not an A. I'm gonna give it a B.
That a boy, Dave. This average here with 4 Bs, believe it or not, is a B.
Wah wah.
Wait, wait.
Next up, we have the Peregrine Dynamo. The Peregrine Dynamo is 3 generic mana for a 1/5 legendary artifact creature construct. It has haste. You can pay 1 and tap this to copy target activated or triggered ability you control from another legendary source that's not a commander. You may choose new targets for the copy.
Dude, did the Tyrant Dynamo gain legs?
Peregrine Dynamo, yes. I guess. But interesting enough, if this is your commander, obviously you're not going to be copying yourself. So you're going to be throwing a whole bunch of stuff in here that's legendary. That's only colorless.
I'm on the next card.
Yeah, I don't know about this one, dude.
What do you mean?
Tyrant Dynamo can't. No.
Oh,
Dude.
God. You guys don't even see the infinite combo potential.
No, it's
show
bad.
me the infinite combo.
The fact that this thing is colorless significantly reduces your options, and that alone takes me off this card.
Go ahead and tell me something I don't know, Steven.
Case closed.
Oh, no, 100%. This does not work as a commander. I'm just saying.
Excuse me. Fill all of your deck with a bunch of giant Eldrazi's.
Profit.
Yeah, you can copy Annihilator.
Cool.
Seems good, man.
It seems great if you know how to count to fucking 12. without
Yeah.
ramp
So I
and
got.
rituals.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry, is some of the most powerful artifacts not colorless?
You're
No.
gonna just flood your deck filled with a bunch of fucking mana rocks and hope you count to 12 while everybody else is still playing a game of Magic.
Yeah. Because
And then
once I
whenever
count
they
12, one person is out of the game essentially.
No. One person casts a counterspell, and that you're not going to win that counterspell war because you forgot your blue cards at home.
No, I just didn't put them in the deck.
Exactly. The colorless on this, I'm out on the colorless.
Yeah, I don't know.
Same.
Eldrazi's are cool though, right?
Yeah, they are.
I think it could do stuff. I think it could do stuff.
I think if you're
So-
gonna play an Eldrazi tribal deck or an Eldrazi like big smashy colorless deck, put the Eldrazi as your commander.
But then you can't copy the effects. And that's
I
what
don't
this
give a
wants to do.
shit.
I want to copy the effects. So therefore, let's move on to grades. I'm giving this a C. I think it's solid.
Yikes.
I'm actually gonna give this my first F. I don't think this is playable.
I'm gonna give it an F as well, man.
Okay, guys, calm down.
Okay.
I'm gonna give this a D.
My man.
I think that it does something. It's got haste. You know, yeah. That's all.
Yeah.
That's I can't really. I can't.
You got it, dude. You fucking got it,
man.
kid.
That's all. That's all I got.
You made it. Well, I'll tell you what. Because I said C, this average is going to be a D. Moving on. Next up, we have Verrak Warped Sengir. Verrak Warped Sengir is 1 a white and a black for a 2/2 legendary creature vampire. It has flying, death touch, and lifelink. It says whenever you activate an ability that isn't a mana ability, if life was paid to activate it, you may pay that much life again. If you do, copy that ability. You may choose new targets for the copy.
That's interesting.
Your fetch lands trigger twice.
Whoa, do they?
Yep. It's not a mana ability.
That's true.
That is
Hunter's-
interesting.
Tickle's own chin.
I'm interested in this, Dave.
Plus, you're in white-black, the color combination that loves to gain and lose life and pay life for silly fucking things. This card is nuts. I love it.
Whoa, tell us more.
I don't think I've seen David as excited in a while.
I know.
Dude, it's super cheap. It's a 3-drop. It's got flying, death touch, lifelink, so 3 very relevant abilities. It's also going to kind of pillow for you because your opponents aren't going to want to attack into a flyer with death touch. So they're probably going to go beat the shit out of each other. It pads your life total whenever it does make contact. And then, like, just imagine all the crazy shit that you can just double up whenever you're paying life on things.
That's
I
true.
look at it like this as like you throw this into a deck that's like going to be running Razzacat, and then boom, all of a sudden you pay life and you just tutor twice.
Yeah, I'm with you. And it's got
Yeah.
lifelink, dude, like you said, so it helps you. Like, ooh,
I mean, you
baby.
put Erebos, God of the Dead in the game, and you pay 2 life and draw 2 cards. That seems good.
That does seem actually pretty. Yeah, I like this. Okay, I like this card.
But would
Where's
paying...
Steven at?
I'm right here.
Steven's looking up stuff.
Yeah, say stop Googling and give me your 2 cents.
What do you mean? Nobody's asked my opinion.
Well, I want to know.
All right. Well, now that you've asked my opinion, this card's fantastic.
Thank you.
I wish it was a 2-drop just because I really want to put this in that don't know how to pronounce his name. Where's he at?
Luris?
I really want to know Elas Ilkor, Sadistic Pilgrim.
The other new card that we're going to talk about here soon.
Yes. I really want I want to build that with Luris as a companion. So I obviously can't do that with this, but this is solid. I do enjoy this card quite a bit.
Dude, 2 mana, this would be stupid broken.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of this card a lot. A big fan of it a lot. Interesting verbiage there by me. Let's move on to the grades. Shane.
Dude, this is just a rock hard B.
Rock
Maybe
hard
even A, dude.
B.
Yeah.
Whoa. Are you going A?
No, I can't. Well, fuck it, I'll be the only A. I'll go A.
Okay. He's going A. I'm going B.
You know, I'm right there with Shane.
I'm
I
gonna go
think
B.
this is like right on the cusp of being an A, but I feel like it's fuck it. I'll give it an A. It's an A.
Oh, we're rock hard, dude.
Whoa, Steven?
It's a lot of pressure. It doesn't really matter what I say, right? Because it's gonna be unless I go C. Then it would definitely. No, I can't give this a C. I mean, I'm rock hard on this. I'm not like fucking through the goddamn roof, so I'm gonna give this a B.
You.
It's
All
still
right.
an A.
Okay,
Well,
okay.
that
just making
average
sure.
goes to the higher grade.
We did
It is
it.
an A. We got our first A. Moving on to the last card. This is Zeriam Golden Wind. Zeriam Golden Wind is 3 and a white for a 3/4 legendary creature, Griffin. It has flying. It says whenever a Griffin you control deals combat damage to a player, create a 2/2 white Griffin creature with flying. Dave, we got Griffin Tribal.
You know,
Is that a thing?
I don't actually think we have Griffin Tribal, and I think if you look at through the lens of that, you're really not going to like this card. It says whenever a Griffin, so that's going to count it, and by the way, all of the tokens that it makes. So if this connects once, you've got 2 Griffins. If it connects a second time and you have that other Griffin token that you just made hit, well, now you've got 4, and then 8, and then 16. So like on its own, this card snowballs really fucking fast.
Mm.
You put other things in there like just general good stuff for tokens like Intangible Virtue. All of a sudden your tokens are big. Now they've got Vigilance. You've still got a shit ton of them. I think this card is actually really solid, and it's mono white. I hate mono white.
It makes you feel any better. I did the math for you on Griffins.
I
We got
sure you did.
42 other Griffins. Mono
I'm
white.
literally probably not going to play a single one of them.
I don't believe you.
Okay, I might play a handful of them, but that's not not why I'm playing this deck for Griffin Tribal. I'm playing this because this guy is a fantastic token maker.
Sure, I get that. But it doesn't hurt not to make Griffins around this.
Oh, could you imagine this with double strike too?
You could give it double strike with something.
That's what I'm saying.
An aura or an equipment.
Changelings. Those are Griffins.
Changelings are also Griffin. We're going back to that. Shane, what do you think?
I see David's potential, but like, is that good? Is it good enough that I mean, talk about it. This kind of has okay. It reminds me a tiny bit about or of David's, other tribal decks that literally aren't fucking tribal. So like his snake tribal, fairy tribal. I see what he's talking about, but again, like you just deal with the commander, and then what's the deck gonna do?
See, that's where I think it's actually a plus because you're not filling your deck with a bunch of other Griffins to care about the tribal aspect. You're filling your
I
deck
know.
with a bunch of other like protection spells or spells that are going to work along with this. Like you throw like a Cathar's Crusade in this or Cathar's Crusade, whatever the fuck you pronounce that card as. Like you swing in, if you connect with 4 Griffins, you make 4 more Griffins, put 4 +1/+1 counters on the ones that are already in play. Like
So what you're just gonna okay?
the typical go-to like token strategy in mono white loves this card, and you don't have to care about the tribal synergy at all. You can just straight up load your deck with support.
Yeah, no, I was bringing up your tribal as a joke because this wouldn't be tribal. I'm not saying it's tribal. The
I
same
know.
way your snake tribal is not tribal.
I know. For those listening at home, I have a fairy tribal deck that has 1 fairy in it. I have a snake tribal deck that has 1 snake in it, and I call them that because they're token generation decks.
They are literally this card, yeah.
And you should, dude. You built a party deck with just clerics.
Well, that was rooking in reverse. And I did not just have clerics. There's video evidence out there to prove it. I still built the deck in ways that party was a thing.
I know. Either way, like I could see this functioning, but it just so like is this just gonna be a go wide token strategy, right? That's it?
Yeah, it's a go wide token strategy.
Well, then Hunter loves this card.
I think we should go wide to the grades.
All right. Let's move on to the grades. And Steven, what are we giving it?
C.
Yeah, I'm on board with you, Steven. It's a C.
Really? I thought you'd be all over this card's dick.
No.
I kind of, if it just go token, go wide, I think it is gonna probably be a B then, dude. I thought it was gonna be doing something else, but if it's not, then yeah, seems like it can do a good job.
These tokens have flying, and the tokens make more tokens. So I'm going to stick with my gut on this. I'm going to keep it at a B. I think this card is something that you can't let it snowball because it just gets out of control.
B, huh?
Yeah, flying tokens, goddamn.
So once again, that average is a B. That is going to be it for the pre-con grades from the set of Dominaria United. All of these cards, once again, came from the pre-con decks of Painbow and Legends Legacy, most of which was in Legends Legacy. Let us know in the comment section down below if you agree with any of our grades. Maybe you disagree with them. Who knows? Maybe you're so off on all of us for saying B on one card, and you're like, this is actually an F. I think it's terrible. Let us know too. And while you're down there, hit that like button if you liked the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And until the next video, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Later.
Bye.
Goodbye.